Good morning, great morning, wonderful morning, spectacular morning, outstanding morning, magnificent morning. Yes, again, the beautiful reminder that there's an echo in the room. No, just kidding. This is technical difficulty, but that's okay. But anyways, the beautiful reminder that what? That we get to choose. And what is it that we get to choose? You always have a choice, but what is it? Remember? Well, it's that you get to choose your thoughts. Think about it. Every single moment of your life, you have a choice. Right now, you do. Oh, here, right now, too. And right here, right now, right now. See, it's a whole bunch of moments of which maybe shit can hit the fan or something goes wrong. Someone says something you don't like. You know, something good if you make a decision that is good. But with that being said, no matter what it is, all of that is fundamentally meaningless. And when that happens, whatever it is, you have a choice to give it whatever meaning you want. Now, why is that so important? Well, because the meanings that you give anything and everything is what determines your reality. See, reality has nothing to do with the facts. It has nothing to do with what somebody said or somebody is done or any of that stuff. It has to do with the meanings that you give those facts. And the sooner you grab on to that power to choose wisely about what things mean, to look for the good in everything, because that's a powerful way of thinking, then guess what will start coming to you? The good. There's no way that it won't. Why? Because we operate according to law. See, there's cause and effect in play here. Like causes lead to like effects. Opposites do not attract. If you want something really great to come into your life, you've got to be harmoniously connected to that greatness. Think about that for your income, your lifestyle, the people you surround yourself with, where you live, the car that you drive, all of it. You want to attract that into your life. Well, become one with the idea. See, that's what we share with you here at Ella Vitality. And this is what we're wanting you to understand for yourself. I mean, think about that. You should have a goal card, for instance, right? You have this goal card, and do not underestimate the power of writing down an idea on paper. Now, this here is a goal card that we've created that's in a beautiful plastic sleeve. If you want one, just let us know and we'll let you know where you can get them. They're really awesome. With that being said, though, when you write down the idea, provided you are emotionally involved with the idea, provided you have made it important, provided you love the idea, you know what will start happening? You'll start to externalize. Why? Because of the meaning that you've given the idea. See, that's how it works. That's how everything in the room you're in right now was made. And all of that is what? That's effect. See, the effect, the results, the things are the effect. Cause is the thought. Cause, effect, effect, cause. Your outer world, your results, is a reflection of what's happening in your inner world. And the sooner you grab onto that beautiful principle, that beautiful truth, the sooner you'll make these big, beautiful changes in your life. Provided that is, you want big, beautiful changes in your life. Is that what you want? Nod your heads. Of course it is. You want big, beautiful changes. Write that in the comments. I would love big, beautiful changes in my life. Well, in order for that to happen, you've got to make big, beautiful changes where? Inside. And that's what we study here. That's what we implement. That's what we help people to implement, of which we've been diving into a lot of that from the Master Key System from Charles Haanel. If you don't have a copy of this, make sure you get a copy of it. It's An amazing book if used. Remember, knowledge is not power. Information is not power. The only way that this information, which is static, has power is if you make it dynamic. In other words, it's got to be used. See, application, baby, that's what it's at. So with that, make sure you get a copy of this so that you can follow along as we're diving into these magnificent truths about you and how your marvelous, miraculous, incredible, powerful mind works, which works according to law. All right, so let's dive into this, shall we? Let's go into where we are. Now here we're on page 241, of which we touched on in the last session. And we're going to go over it again. Why? Because it's important. Some will say, if these principles are true, why are we not demonstrating them? As a fundamental principle is obviously correct, why do we not get proper results? We do. Remember, your results, whatever they are, they're exactly what they're supposed to be. That's the effect. Think in terms of your bank account. What's in your bank account or what's not in your bank account, whatever that number is. Remember, don't make it personal. Just look at it for what it is. With that being said, whatever that number is, whatever it has been, that is a result. That's an outcome of which the cause is rooted in how you've been thinking, what you believe to be true of yourself, the habits that you have, which is your mindset. The point being is that what's being reaped is because of what's being sown. And that's why he emphasizes it here in this text. We do. We get results in exact accordance with our understanding of the law and our ability to make proper application. This is why I constantly share with you and ask you about the golden rule. What's the magnificent rule? And what is it? It's application, baby. Type that in the comments. Application, baby. Yeah, that's right. I love that. I love saying that. It's application. It's through use. It's kind of like finding an instruction manual for how to do something, put it together, right? And you have all the instructions, you look at it, but then you don't use the instructions. Now, us men here, we tend not to use the instruction manual, and then we end up figuring it out. But with that being said, when the instruction manual is there, if we use it, it makes things a lot easier. So again, think about that. We do. We get results in exact accordance with our understanding of the law and our ability to make the proper application. We secured no results from the laws governing electricity until someone formulated the law and showed us how to apply it, until someone figured it out. Now, every time I think about electricity, there's something that constantly just makes me go, woo! Nobody knows what electricity looks like. Have you ever thought about that? They only know what it does, and they only know that it's a force. And they figured out some ways how to harness it so that it can be used productively. It can also be used destructively too. I know that was a little off topic, but it's kind of cool when you think about it, because we're dealing with somewhat of a similar type of thing when it comes to the universal force, that intelligent substance of which nobody knows what it looks like, but we know that it's there. You know what I'm talking about. How when you think a thought, when you start to imagine, it forms a picture, and many times it shows up in your life. Sometimes it's negative, sometimes it's positive. But with that being said, it's that force, it's that thinking substance that permeates, penetrates, and fills the inner spaces of the universe, of which is there, which is a creative force, which can be used to deliver whatever outcome you'd love for your life. Now, this puts us in an entirely new relation to our environment. Now, when he's talking about your environment, he's talking about the external, the physical. Remember, you have been given dominion over this earth. And what does that mean? You have this ability to change your environment. It's your birthright. So many people don't understand that. They say, oh, what do you mean? I have this birthright that have been given dominion over this earth. My results suck. This person's controlling me and that, which is nothing more than a belief. But when you really dive into it, you really see that you do. Look at how your room is decorated. It didn't happen by itself. Look, think about the clothes you wear, how you do your hair, the way you drive. Hopefully, you're a good driver. The car you drive itself. There's so much evidence around you that proves you have dominion over this earth. I mean, right here at this very moment, should you decide to do so, should you decide to accept the mission, right? Mission Impossible is coming out. That's going to be really cool. Dead Reckoning. But with that being said, should you decide to change what your room looks like, you can do that. All you have to do is imagine it first and be loyal to the idea. Next thing you know is the room is changing. Now, grab onto that. And again, here he's pointing this out. This puts us in an entirely new relation to our environment, opening up possibilities hitherto undreamed of. And this, by an orderly sequence of law, is naturally evolved into our new mental attitude. Now, I love the little references here to other authors. By an orderly sequence of law. It's a little hint of Thomas Troward there. Pretty cool. I was a student of Troward. He read what he shared. Also, Wallace Wattles, too. How do I know? Because it's written in, in a lot of his writings. But now let's grab onto that. Let's grab onto what's meant from all of this. When you think about this new relation to your environment. See, when you start diving into thinking this way, which is the creative way, which is the way you're supposed to be thinking, which is how you were designed, which brings up another point. You weren't designed to fail. You were designed to succeed. But when you dive into this and start to lock into the relation of your environment and how it's there because of how you're thinking, it starts to change everything. It shifts and gives you power. How many of you, as you've been diving into this and using it, have been realizing, oh my gosh, I do have this power? How many of you, as you've been thinking about this, how much of the stress has been coming off of your shoulders? You know what I'm talking about.